Next question says, what's the rationale behind alternating 2 assistance lifts every other week instead of just sticking with one lift for 3 or 4 weeks? For example, doing pause squats on week 1, pin squats on week 2, pause squats on week 3, pin squats on week 4. The rationale behind that is that you're trying to develop a certain movement pattern, but you're trying to develop it in a more general context. So with the pause squat, for example, we're trying to develop force production out of the hole. We're trying to reduce the tendency for the chest to fall as you drive out of the hole. Pin squat is similar. That's why those two are paired together. We don't necessarily want you to get good at pin squatting. We want you to get good at a movement pattern that pin squatting promotes and transfer that into the competition squat. So the operating idea is that by alternating the movements, you don't develop the skill of performing that movement, but you develop a more general skill of not letting your chest fall and generating more force out of the bottom. Also, you could make an argument from an adaptation standpoint that rotating the exercises helps you to stay more fresh with each pattern and your response improves. Now, I will tell you that I have strategies in place that don't utilize this sort of rotating assistance movement. There's a rationale to support that as well. Now, which rationale is right? Good question. It's not entirely clear. The point is that to know which one is going to produce better results for a given athlete. Now, this is a thing that we explore in a lot more depth at the custom training levels. We isolate variables like that, or not, maybe isolate's too strong of a word, but we're examining variables like that and developing a better picture over successive training blocks so that we can answer questions like that. For this particular athlete, do they respond better to a rotating assistance scheme or to a consistent assistance scheme? There's arguments to be made on both sides. This particular training strategy utilizes a rotating scheme. Other training strategies don't. Which one's better? At this point, it's really athlete dependent. But you were asking for the rationale, so that's kind of the rationale. But I don't think the rationale is very helpful when it ultimately comes down to an individual difference. So I think this answer is probably going to bring up more questions than answers, and I apologize about that. But you ask, and I answered honestly. So I hope there's something there, and if there's any follow-up questions to that, please let me know.